everything you can easily understand by doing this SPC chart. Okay. Any question?
No.
No. Okay, fine. Right. So here, that's what we already discussed, right? How the chart will differ from variable data to control chart. Okay, X bar, R chart, these are all some of the variable chart which we are trying to do. But here, the same thing. Whatever I discussed here, the same thing we are keeping in the other slide also. So there's a main thing you have to understand. Control chart for variable. What are all the charts? Okay. And control chart for attributes, what are all the chart we are going to use? Totally, there are 7 charts. Okay, you should remember that one. The same thing we repeated here. Okay, that one. And attribute data and then control charts. Okay, creating the P chart. The same thing I'll try to explain in a different way. You just go through the document, what is there in your online. Okay, this will be very simple logic, and everything is about how to create a chart. That's what it's coming back. Okay, this also I told you, right, the last chapter I pushed it to previously. This also talk about the statistical process control and the control plans. Okay, see this was introduced by Dr. Walter in the year of 1920, the statistical process control chart. Okay, what is the objective of SPC? It's mainly monitoring the performance of the process. Okay, whatever process you want to monitor, you can use this SPC chart. Okay, it's not only for one particular process. Anything you want to monitor, definitely you can do it. Okay, identify variation within the process, right? See, for example, if you fix your denial rate into 2% or 4%, it should stabilize there. If it is not stabilizing there, there is a lot of variation. See, for example, something is called controlled variation, something is called uncontrolled variation. For every payer, 3 months once they will change their policy, right? That's what we are sending the medical policy to coding team, ask them to check is there any policy change. Okay, these are all some of the idea you may get it by looking into your SPC chart. Okay, variation, mainly you have to focus on controlling and improving the process. See, whenever you get any variation, that means that your process is not stabilized, right? We need to focus on how to improve on the process. Okay, see, common cause variation and special cause variation. Common cause variation, I told you, right? The patient count may go up and down, and smaller denial changes. For example, you are keeping 3% is your ideal denial percentage. Sometimes it may go to 2%, or sometimes it may go to 4%. That and all normal variation is going to happen, which is called common variation. How I saw that we saw that in the MMTX, right? All of a sudden we got around 201 denial on the particular month. This is special cause variation. Okay, you need not focus on the special cause variation. Sometimes we'll call that as a noise point. Okay, whenever you want to see that whether your process is stabilized or not, you remove the noise point and then do the chart again. It will come to the stabilized one. Then you need not worry about too much. And if the special cause is not there, common cause itself is going up and down, then you have to be very, very careful on your process side. Okay, and then considering the SPC chart. Okay, so what we need to do here is, okay, SPC require considerable buy-in from every member of the team. See, for example, I am putting a SPC chart and then I want to control everything. It's not going to happen, right? Your team should understand what is the SPC. So how you are tracking it, that and all, it should be clearly explained to the team, right? That's what we did with the pre-billing team, right? Pre-billing team know about this SPC chart very well. And whenever the denial is increasing, they completely know the SPC chart, how it is going to reflect. So that's the way, whenever you're doing any process and the process need to be stabilized and the variation should not be there, every member should know about this particular activity. Avoid over analysis. See, doing this appropriate level of analysis and need to start focusing on why those key process aspects are. Okay, for example, your process is very fluctuating. For example, common cause variation fluctuation, you should not consider that as a special cause. Okay, you should difference between common cause and the special cause, you should know about it. Okay, and focus on the actual process issues. Okay, and so you have to see that why the process is going up and down and how we are going to control on it. These are all very simple. By seeing the visual representation, you understand how is your process is going there. Okay, that's very, very important and very useful for any of the process. Okay, again, the same thing, the control chart, how we are going to use it, the same chart I had given again to see how if our process is stable over time. See, for example, if you start the process, for example, you are getting a new project this month. Okay, what we are saying, if within 90 days, our process will get stabilized. That's what we are committing to our client. And okay, it is committed that our process is stabilized. You are taking the same report after a year, right? Still the process is not stabilized. That is a problem, right? We see that our process are stable over time and find the root cause of the special cause variation. Whenever there is any special cause, you have to identify and then try to fix that. Use the information, then predict the range of our, see the mainly the control chart, whatever we saw based on your prediction, right? See, I told you, right, 3 points are going up. Immediately the 3 points are going to come down. Like that, you will identify the trend of the particular denial. So we can predict, right, how it is going to happen in the next 3 months. Okay, whether your denial is going to go up or come down. That kind of prediction you may get it once your process is stable for over time. See, for example, Dr. A or IMA, we saw that, right? It is more than a year report we have, and we can see the trend. Okay, by seeing the trend itself, we can understand whether next 3 months it's going to up. If it is going to up, we know that what are all the area we need to focus on, how we are going to control. We have to do that and then fix it. Okay, analyze our process variation pattern over the time. Pattern, it very clearly will know the pattern. See, for example, the charge report. Okay, if a client is coming back and then asking, okay, how my charges are visible or how my charges are trending, you can tell very clearly, okay, every year you will do a more patient on this particular month, and then that will continue for 1 month or 2 months. Then it will come to a drop. Okay, steep drop will be there. How will you say that? By seeing only the chart, only the charge number, you cannot say that. You put it into SPC chart, then you know that in which month they are touching the outlier, which month they are going near to the mean, which month is getting a variation. Everything you can put it in detailed analysis and you can predict easily. That's the main thing of this particular control chart. Okay, selecting variable in the SPC. See, this is very important. Okay, what variable you want to do the SPC? That's what I'm trying to explain so far, right? See, the SPC chart, you can do it for whatever variable you want, you can do. But there are some limitations in it. Okay, see, for example, to choose the right number of variable. For example, in a process, I have all my KPI metrics. Can I put it into statistical process control? Yes, you can put, but how we are going to monitor? Right, that's a question, right? So take a key material or key variable which you want to fix it, take that alone. If you have 100 variable you want to measure, that will be a problem. You don't have time to identify it. So identify the key variable and then which is going to affect your revenue, that you have to be more careful. Okay, Six Sigma projects variable to improve will come into the control phase. See, mainly this SPC chart, we will use it in the improve phase. And then control phase, it is a very key material in the control phase. Okay, those variables are very difficult to control. You cannot track it, right? For example, the charge. Okay, so we'll see that charge, whether the patient is coming to the practice or not. So we cannot control it, but only we can track it. We can see only the trend of it. Okay, that's the only thing. The variable that's tied with the customer. This is what, for example, charge entry or a patient count is tied with the customer. We cannot have a control of it, but we can see only the trend of it. Need to adhere to the applicable organizational and regulatory standards. See, what is your organizational goal? Okay, as here, our organizational goal is we have to get the better collection for the client. That organization goal, you can create your SPC. For example, denial should be less. Then that should be your SPC. Okay, that's the main thing. So this, just to give an heads up, okay, how I'm going to prepare my SPC charts. Okay, this is a rational subgrouping, special cause variation. So as we discussed, right, some of the special cause is going to happen because of some situation, right, that you can create into a different subgroup. So avoid that kind of unwanted or the high point or a noise point can be avoided by doing a subgrouping. So SPC control chart to reduce our excessive variation. For that only we are using this. Okay, by reducing within the subgroup variation, which is our common cause. See, for example, I'll explain you in detail. We'll take the same MMTX. They identified all of a sudden the duplicate is hiked up on one particular month. So to avoid that, what we can do, we will take only duplicate and then we will do some analysis to understand whether it is a noise point or it is a regularly it is coming. So for that, you have to break that into a subgrouping and do a SPC chart. So that will give a clarity whether what you are doing is right or something need to be do differently. Okay, process of applying rational subgrouping. Make sure that you are taking subgroups from the different times, different location, different suppliers, and then different operators. This is applicable for the production side, not for us. Okay. See, for example, I want to do the subgrouping on the denial side. What I'll do, I'll break it by all the denial category, duplicate, eligibility, like that. I can break it and then I'll start doing the SPC chart to understand where is the flow difference is coming on which particular bucket. Okay, this is about the subgrouping side of it. Okay, any questions so far? Yeah.
No.
Okay, so the control plan, okay, all the SPC based control plan, how we are going to do it. So what is control plan? Measurement and inspection. That's what our major area of the control plan. What we are measuring the denial, and the inspection. What we are doing, whether the denial is under control or not, for that only we are using the control. Okay, including information of the frequency and method, how we are measuring, and then evaluating the critical characteristics. Okay, these are all the 4 points which we need to use for the control measure. There are 4 characters, okay, which defines your control plan. One is nature of business. See, for example, complexity of the product and process on the business. For that, we are using the control plan. See, I'll tell you the process. Okay, what are all the process I have? I have a charge entry. I have a payment posting. I have a denial management. I have a AR, and then all the process I have a production as a process. So for that, we can add that as a control plan. Okay, based on the complexity. For example, I have 10 different projects. Okay, so everything, do I need to do a control plan? No. Which project is not coming to your stability area, take that and then bring it to a control plan. Okay, put your SPC chart and then take the control and then do a root cause analysis, bring your team inside, find a solution, and then fix the process. Like that, you have to understand based on the type of business and what complexity of the product you want to work on. Okay, that is one thing. And second one is nature of the process. Okay, for example, simple process. Okay, for it is going very smooth. So in that scenario, you can take a very fewer control. Okay, you need not take much control on it. Voice of the customer. Sometimes, see, for example, that's what we discussed, right? See, voice of the customer. What TWorks says, they are concentrating only on 90 plus. So then what we need to do, we have a control plan for 90 plus. How it is variating. That will give a clear-cut picture whether your process is stabilized or you are going to expect some hike in the 90 plus. That will give very clear here. See, all your customer requirement you can keep in the control plan. Okay, feasibility of implementation. See, for some time what happened, we are not able to take a data at all, and how we are going to place it. That's a major challenge, but we don't have that problem here. We are able to track all the data and we can do it. Okay, there are 3 phases in creating control. One, identify the process scope. Okay, for example, 90 plus, or we are saying that denial should be less than 5%. That's our process scope. And determine the indicator. For if it is a denial, I should have what is my charge, and I should have what is my denial percentage, and that is my indicators here. See, for example, 90 plus, I should know what is my 90 plus, and based on the overall AR value, right? Review the control plan and then identify whether your control plan is going in the right direction or not. See, but the complete Six Sigma methodology, one very, very powerful tool which we can use is a SPC chart and the control plan. Okay. Okay. I think this is a last before topic. I just push it to a last now. Okay. See, I'll go back to this particular chart since it's very, very important. I'm going back again. I just want to refresh whatever we learned so far. See, the control chart, we know there are 6 control charts. One is 3 for variable, 3 for attributes. Okay, that's the first point. And second one is how we are going to control chart. One is freak point, drift, process shift, systematic variation, stratification, and recurring cycle. Okay, these are all some of the metrics we are going to understand by data trend, and based on that you are going to take a decisions. So we talked about different decision. There is a 7 pattern here, And here we mention about 7 rules here. Okay, how we are going to understand, how we are going to interpret the things. So control process, we try to put some SPC chart over there. And I showed you, I don't know why the mean is not coming. I'm not clear. I'll put you and then put it in this process. Okay. And data variable, and the same thing we discuss, attribute data, what are all the charts. And here the SPC control chart, we discuss who developed it, what is the consideration you have to give, and what is your common cost variation and the special cost variation we discuss on this very important one. And the control chart variation we discussed, and how to select the SPC chart and why we should select it. And if any overall changes, we can subgroup it and then we can do a SPC chart. And there are 4 key parameters. We saw that what business we are doing, what is the nature of the process, and what is the voice of the customer. All the voice of the customer you can